Hello everyone, welcome to the 4th regional dungeon of the game, the Fire Temple, also known as the Mountain Temple. As soon as you enter, you'll encounter some fire keys that are blocking your way. We can't kill them with the sword, so use one of your other items to defeat them as you move forward. So we can't go this way yet, and we obviously can't unlock those doors, so continue on to the left and follow the obvious path. Apparently this dungeon has some Mario going on. The only thing to watch out for here is that you should pause at these middle sections, and the same thing is true at the top, because if you try to just run straight through, you'll probably get yourself burned, even though you think you have enough room, but you really don't. So it is possible, but you'll most likely just take damage. Oh noes! These Stalfos will toss bones at you, which kind of makes you think that if you stay here long enough, they'll eventually just kind of remove all their bones and then there won't be anything left of them. But you can avoid their projectiles by walking back and forth, or you can stand still and have them hit your shield. They're defeated pretty easily enough, but it may be wise to take them out one at a time, using the whip to take them out from afar. And sadly, although you can toss their skulls to finish them off with the whip, the skulls themselves don't do any damage, so you can't, toss the skulls at their friends to hurt them. Aww. Yes, I found a Stalfos skull, although that does kind of bring up the question of what happened to the skull I just defeated. I tossed it and then it went poof, disappeared. Does it have 2 skulls? Anyway, round the next corner and read the tablet for a clue about what to do next. These nearby wooden trapdoor things will drop you into the abyss if you step over them, which will damage you. As the tablet said, these are mirrored on the other side of the room, and this is another one of those puzzles where they're encouraging you to draw on your map. Continuing on, stand on this upper ledge and use your boomerang to hit the crystal switch on the other side. This makes a stone thing duper fall to the ground, which is awesome, and we'll get to that here in just a moment. Continue on to the right and go up the stairs. Minecarts! Everybody loves minecarts. At the end of the line, open the chest to get a small key, one of the 2 we're going to need to proceed 1 floor down. That's all we can do here for now, so hop back into the cart and go back down the stairs. Okay, so return to that raised ledge, which is the only way we can go, and use the boomerang on the crystal switch if you haven't already. Hop down and pick up the stone thingy. I'm going to call it a disc, since that's kind of its shape. I don't know what else you'd call it. It's like a trivet or something. I'm going to toss the trivet on the volcano here and jump across, assuming you can line yourself up right and aren't blind like me, apparently. I'm going to drag the stone block here and use it as a shield to get past these flames. So this room has some more of those trapdoors. We can't tell where they are. They're in the same positions as those on the opposite side of the room, so the idea was that you were supposed to write down the locations on your map earlier, and then that way you could maneuver your way through here. I have my own map marked, so maneuver around to open the chest to get 100 rupees, and after that go up the stairs. More minecarts! Okay, so now we need to start paying attention. You have these crystal switches that we can slash with our sword, or you can also use ranged weapons like the whip. The boomerang works as well, but it does take a little bit longer, so if you miss your chance, then it's a lot harder to correct for it. Now, if you only hit the first one, this will take you to a platform in the middle of the room that has a chest containing a common treasure. Neat. I'm going to hop back into the minecart and return to the start, and then try again, this time hitting both of the switches to reach our destination. It is a little fast-paced, but it's not really that hard at all. So with key in hand, you want to work your way back to the previous floor. So remember here not to fall down one of those sneaky traps, and then walk around it, and then hop off this upper ledge here. In the middle of the room, we have 2 locked doors. So use both of these small keys we got on both sides of the room to open them, revealing some crystal switches. You'll quickly find that we have to hit them both at the same time, though, so you want to use either bombs or the boomerang so that you can hit both of them at the same time. Bum bum bum. So here we have our first He Toys, and you'll quickly find that we can't hurt it with our current weapons, and whenever you get close, it starts spinning towards you. You will notice, however, that there are some Moldolas circling the room, those electric orb snake things that will zap you if you touch them. The trick is to get He Toys into spinning into one of these electric pests to stun it, then quickly slash away on its head when it's sticking out and you can get up to it while it's stunned. Do this 3 times to defeat it. Nice. Another traditional item from the Zelda series, the bow and arrow. I think of the top-down perspective games, these 2 DS games by far have the best bow. Use the L or R button to use it, and place the stylus on the screen to pull back, and then release the stylus to release an arrow. You can use it to kill these Moldolas as well, which is neat, though a little unnecessary. Usually while patrolling enemies, things like this in the Zelda games are just invincible, so I'm not really sure why Nintendo decided to let you kill these ones. It's not like they're anywhere near as threatening here as they are in some of the other games, but oh well. Head right and you can hit these acorn things to get arrows. So shoot the eye to the north, which creates a bridge to the next doorway. I'm going to go down the stairs and shoot at the arrow orb. I don't even know what to begin titling these little guys. I'm going to shoot them with an arrow to make them fire an arrow in another direction that they're facing. In this case, allowing us to hit the eye in the corner. Now you could alternatively shoot the other arrow orb thing directly for the same effect. So you can pick up these things, and don't feel too bad if you mess up, because if you accidentally toss them into the abyss, they will come right back. Open the chest in the corner before you forget to get some uncommon treasure. You can also slash these things with your sword to rotate them, which is important to know. Pick this one up and toss it on the far left where we will need it to face north. Don't worry if it's not faced correctly, because you can use the boomerang to spin it as well. Once it is faced correctly, you want to shoot it with an arrow to hit the eye switch and create a bridge. Now at first this may seem like a dead end, but if you look to the far left of the room, using the boomerang or something, you'll see that there is another eye switch at a different angle. Hit the arrow orb so that until it's facing to the left, and then pick it up and toss it to the next pillar, to the north. Assuming you're better at tossing these darn things than I am, of course. Anyway, don't worry, if it does fall down, it will reappear back at its starting position. Once you get it placed correctly, you want to shoot it with an arrow to create a second bridge. Okay, up ahead we have this stone tablet here that I find very ironic. It tells you that you need a key to open the door. Yeah, it's called a locked door. Welcome to Zelda stone tablet. Good job. You know, you could have explained that in the first dungeon, but no, you waited until the 4th one. You know why? 'Cause you have a terrible sense of direction. I'm just kidding. We'll actually come back to that door towards the end of the dungeon, so that tablet was just to give you a little mental note so that when you do get the small key, you remember to come back here. This next room locks you alone with 4 Stalfos. They aren't too hard, but you will need to use the bow to defeat them. Luckily, we have one of those glass acorn things here in case you run out of arrows, and if you're lucky, they may even drop a Stalfos skull, so be sure to grab that with the boomerang quickly before it disappears. This next puzzle is timed. You'll need to activate the eye switch on the left, then quickly use the whip on the logs to the right before the lava walls come back. These platforms are pretty self-explanatory. Just time your jumps well and don't be impatient. At the end, you will find a chest containing a common treasure. After that, whip the logs to the south to work your way past the barrier a little ways to the south, and step on the switch here opens the door, which creates a very small shortcut. Kind of pointless, but nice to know that Nintendo is thinking of us, I guess. Either that, or they just expect us to suffer a painful death in the next corridor. Just something to think about as you avoid these blade traps. At the end, beware the last one, which travels really far north and south. Once you get there, open up the chest to find an uncommon treasure. After that, they aren't too clear, but you should figure it out on your own pretty quick. There are 2 unlit torches to the right, along with some fire keys that continually pop out of the lava. Use your boomerang to hit the keys and light the torches in order to open the next door. So this room has 2 Hitoys. Don't panic, just avoid their attacks if they get too close, and then hit them from afar using the bow, which does massive damage to them, because, as we all know, arrows are the leading cause of death among giant fire turtles. Beware, Torkoal, this bow's got your name on it. These stone tablets are a little bit cryptic, but as long as you're standing close enough, the meaning is pretty obvious. There are eye switches above each one of these stone tablets, so just use your map to write down the numbers that the stone tablets assign to their corresponding eye. With information in hand, go down the new stairs on the left. An easy way to take care of these Stalfos is to use an arrow and then tap on the skull with your sword. You can run through here and kill them very quickly without using too many arrows this way. The floor switch here opens the barrier nearby, but only while you're standing on it. Go north and you'll find an arrow orb that we used earlier. Sweet, another trivet! Pick up the stone disc and bring it over to the little volcano thing to the north, and once you have it placed, bring that arrow orb with you, since chances are it'll probably come in handy. We've already had to use it multiple times, so we'll probably use it again. Once up there, toss the orb down and hit the crystal switch to create a shortcut. After that, dispose of the fire keys so that we can solve the puzzle in peace. Alright, now that we have the enemies taken care of, let's look at the various aspects of this puzzle. We have a switch here that makes the volcanoes erupt or stop erupting, which we've used so far, the volcanoes that is, to make things rise into the air. Those eye switches on the pillar are obviously begging to be shot with arrows, and we also have 2 arrow orbs, however one of them points diagonally. This paints a pretty clear picture, but there is one thing missing. I don't think they're too clear about this, but you can pick up these stone discs after you've placed them. I don't know. I guess when I play this, I just assume that things you toss in lava are kind of permanent and that you can't get them back. I also kind of find it strange that you can put your hands underneath a stone block thing that has lava underneath it. Like, that just sounds like a recipe to lose your hands. Anyway, stand on top of the one side and shoot the angled eye switch, and then shoot the eye on your side while the other arrow is hitting the other side simultaneously. This will open the door, which grants you access to a small key. Yes! Before you leave, it may be wise to go snag some arrows from the nearby acorn, go back right and make sure you hit this crystal switch to make a shortcut back. I smacked it earlier so it's already activated for me. Go back up these stairs to return to the middle room where we will find our old friend, the locked door. Hello, old friend. Goodbye, old friend. Snags more arrows, then it's minecart time. Now that we're at the right elevation, we need to hit these eye switches in the correct order that we got from the stone tablets earlier, one floor down. I have my map marked, and unfortunately I did need a second pass to hit all of them. This particular gossip stone doesn't talk about chests, but rather it has a very specific clue about how to find the stamp station for this temple. Go back up the stairs, hop back on the minecart, and aim with your bow at the bottom left corner of the map. You'll find a crystal switch that you can barely see in the corner of your screen while doing this, and you'll need to shoot it pretty quick so that the rails change in time. So before diving into this room, you should check out the map here on the wall. Those explosion marks are showing which crystal switches you need to activate. The two that are not marked, you need to specifically not attack. A good thing to know, and that'll make sense here in a moment. I'm going to go to the left and grab the bomb flower and use it to blow up the nearby boulder, which turns it into one of those stone discs that we can then use. Kind of ironic, since you'd think it would just kind of break it into a bunch of smaller pieces or something, but instead just shaves it off the entire upper part instead, and that we can then use. Pretty convenient. Toss it onto the little volcano here, wait for it to rise, then hop into the minecart. Remember to hit the correct switches in passing. We need to avoid the middle one. Man, these stone tablets are so knowledgeable. Well, we can't reach the boskie, but if you look to the far left, you will see that there is a second minecart that we can't reach. However, it is just past the key, so you want to use the whirlwind to blow the key into the minecart. Before we move on, there is one more thing we can do. Whip across the log here and open the final chest containing some treasure. After that, use the nearby acorn things to stock up on arrows. So now that we have the boskie in the other minecart, you want to jump into your own, which makes both of them go at once. You'll need to hit the switches we have marked on our map, and most of these you'll have to use the bow rather than the sword like we've done thus far. Nice. So toss the boskie into the lock and enter the final room. You can use the blue light to return to the entrance in case you need potions, but after that, go ahead and use the jars and stock up on health and arrows, then go up the stairs for the boss, where I will meet up with you in the next video.